Noon.
Can you update on Tristan Wirfs? Where do you think that's now?
He's got a high ankle sprain, so it'll be as tolerated. So we'll see how he goes from week to week.
Is there any chance that he plays on Monday night against Saints?
I don't think so. He's a tough guy, but I don't think so.
Todd, let's go back to the last drive before the end of regulation. After the 1 yard screen pass to Rachaad White, 17 seconds elapsed. There wasn't a timeout called yet. You had 3 of them. Why didn't you call a timeout there or Tom on the field to preserve some time? You look back and it's hindsight now, but that 26-yard catch by Julio Jones, you had 8 seconds. You could have had 25 seconds with 2 more timeouts there.
Or it could have been an interception as well. We said if we didn't get yardage on the first down on the first play, we wouldn't call a timeout. We'd probably let the clock run. If he saw something, he could throw it. But we didn't get any yards on the first play. We got 1 or 2 yards with Rachaad, and we were backed up. So if we had threw a pick and the ball would have went the other way and they had to kick the winning field goal, we felt better going into overtime, so I didn't do it.
But he threw the ball on second.
He threw it on second down. He saw something. He got it in there. Then we called timeout. So could have easily went the other way.
Same way, and that's the same reasoning that one could have been intercepted, right?
Yeah, it could have been. It was a risky throw, but he got it in there. You know, Tom's been making those throws, but we felt good going in the overtime the way the defense was playing, and we thought we had it right there. So it was just a call we made.
Would it have made any sense, again, I guess if you were going into overtime, you're going into overtime, but maybe you could have just taken a knee at that point with 32 seconds left. But after they got stopped on third down, they have 1 play to score, barring a penalty. Would it have made sense to call timeout after Levante David stopped?
It could have been, but we didn't want them to talk about it, so we wanted them to just line up and play and go, so we let it go.
The idea of not throwing an interception, Tom is on a historic pace for not throwing interceptions this year. You've got a quarterback who knows how to protect the ball. It almost seems like a trend for the whole season that you're playing conservative on offense not to make mistakes as opposed to trying to score points. Is that?
I don't think we've played conservative on offense at all. You can say that in hindsight about this game, but you don't think about those things as coaches. You make the best decision possible based on everything that's been going on, and you kind of go from there. We had not been moving the football. We had 9 3-and-outs, so it wouldn't have been wise to try to call that one. So I made it. I can live with that, and I'm okay with it.
Todd, you elected to punt the ball from the Browns' 37 on 4th and 2 instead of going for it. The analyst community says go for it at that point in time. What was your reasoning for punting and not trying to get some points, because a field goal on that drive makes it a 2-score game and you probably win the game at that point?
Again, the defense was playing well. The offense wasn't playing it, moving the ball as well, so we tried to play the strength of our defense and get the ball back if we can back them up.
Do you trust your offense?
I do.
But you didn't trust them in that instance?
Well, I saw how the game was going. I trusted our defense to get the ball back, and I thought we can get the ball in good field position and still go down and get a score.
So you're 11 weeks now into the season. There's 21 practices or so left. Do you think you can get this turned around on offense somehow? Because other than the Dallas game, which is week 1, and week 10 in Germany, those are the outliers. The rest of the season has been the same. Can't run the football, not scoring points. So what gives you the faith in your coaches or anything else that this will change?
Well, we have to. Number one, we've done it before, so we have to get on the same page and stop making mistakes. We got to coach it better and play it better. There's no secret formula to getting this turned around the right way. We have to make plays. We have to call it right. We have to execute it the right way. We got to stop committing penalties. Obviously, it's a broken record at this point, but as coaches and players, that's what you go back to. You go back to your fundamentals and you play ball. That's all it is.
Todd, just your defense's inability to close out games or get the opponent off the field late in games, whether it was at Pittsburgh or this game the other day, or even in Seattle, who scored a couple times in the 4th quarter. How troublesome is that? And what's the cause of it? Just the defense not being able to close things out?
It's disappointing. Obviously, you want to be well in 2 minutes on defense. We've been well in the past. We have not been good this year several times, especially in the fourth quarter. The kid made a heck of a catch. I'll give him that one right there, but we should have been in place to do things to divert that catch because we knew what was coming. And we didn't do that. And we didn't do that a couple games earlier this year. They've been playing well for 3.5 quarters. The other part of the quarter, we haven't been playing so well. We got to close games out if we want to finish the season off right.
Did Carlton just fall down, plain and simple?
He slipped. I mean, it can't happen, but, you know, the guy made a play after he slipped.
Todd, complimentary football is so important. Is the fact that your offense yesterday bogged down in the fourth quarter with three and outs out of the last 4 drives, with the exception of that ending possession before regulation, not being able to sustain drives that put your defense back out there quicker? Did you feel like your defense started to wear down in the fourth quarter and overtime as a result of the offense not doing its part by sustaining drives?
No, the defense has to get off the field no matter what. I think offensively, we weren't very good on third down at all, and we got the third down. We had a bunch of third and longs, at least 7+. There had to be 9 or 10 of them, and we probably were over when we did those things. And when we had third and short, at least we were almost 50-50. It might have been 2 or 5 at that point, but if you can't make third downs, you can't stay on the field. But the defense's job is to stop them no matter what. We don't make excuses trying to say the offense did this and the defense did that. We had plays on special teams, offense and defense, to win that ball game, and we didn't do it.
Mike Evans was targeted 9 times. He only had 2 catches. Why is it that Tom and Mike seem to be out of sync at this point?
That's a good question. You know, some of them were defensive calls. Some of them we just missed it here and there. You know, we got to get that fixed. We got to get them back on the same page. You know, that struggle, it showed up yesterday. Not saying it was anybody's fault, but it did show up yesterday, and it showed up a few games before that. You know, we got to get that taken care of. That's crucial for our success.
Is it kind of baffling? These guys have played together since 2020, right? I mean, play after play, game after game, 3 seasons now, and they're not on the same page. Tom didn't necessarily say by name, but he said after the game that they're not seeing things the same way, and they need to get on the same page. Does that baffle you that that's happening this far into the season?
No, it doesn't baffle me. We just got to get it fixed, you know. It's not necessarily them two. It's quite a few other people over there as well. We just got to get on the same page, and we're not on the same page, and it shows.
Do you guys run one-on-ones in practice?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Every day? Most days?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Todd, Kate Otten has really become a more prominent fixture on your offense in the passing game over the last 2 wins against the Rams and the Seahawks. You know, he had at least 1 catch of over 25 yards in each game. Cam Brate was targeted 5 times and had 2 catches for 19 yards yesterday. Otten didn't even receive a target. Is that a function of Byron just not featuring him in this offense yesterday, or was it Tom going elsewhere with the ball? Why didn't Otten receive any targets?
Well, part of them going elsewhere, part of them because we couldn't stay on the field. You know, we had situations where we couldn't stay on the field. We couldn't target everybody. Cade will get his catches. We can target him. He had a heck of a year thus far. We just got to get on the same page, and we got to spread the ball around.
From what you've seen and were told after the game, is Antoine okay going forward?
He has an ankle sprain as well. You know, we'll see how he feels during the week. I don't know if he's going to be able to play or not at this time.
Any of the DBs that got hurt? You got at one point, McCollum and Delaney out there at the end of the game.
Well, we'll see how Sean has a contusion and Mike Edwards has a contusion. We'll see how they feel. It'll be day by day, and we'll see how they feel at the end of the week.
I know it's easy to look at numbers and say, well, in Germany you ran it 40-something times, had your best day, but in a game that you led until 32 seconds, to come out with just 20 rushes, does this seem odd to you?
Well, it seemed odd to me that we couldn't stay on the field. Yeah, I thought they stuffed us some on first down, and we tried to pass. We got backed up a little bit with penalties, and it kind of went that way, but not being able to – we had a bunch of third and longs. Like I said, we had at least 9 or 10 third and 7 pluses, and that went all the way up to about 19 yards. And, we couldn't play with ourselves behind the 8 ball and run the ball that successfully when we have that intact.
Todd, your defense gave up 10 points outside of the last 32 seconds, right? This was an offense that was averaging 24 points per game. They wound up with 23 in overtime, but what was your defense doing right for most of the game? What are some things, when you look at the film, that you're making strides with or that you liked about the way your defense played yesterday for the most part?
I thought the defensive line was physical. You know, they play very physical football. I thought the ball, when it got out, went out on the edges. It didn't come up the middle on those guys. The corners got to tackle better, and the outside backers got to tackle a little bit better. But I thought the D-line, from a penetration and a physical standpoint, played the game physically.
Injuries are part of the game. You knew we were going to have some changes with Ali Marpet retired. You're down to Donovan Smith now that's played. How daunting is that for this group to have to, try to make the rest of the season what you have?
It's not daunting. We got to find ways to get it done. Last year was the defense. This year is the offense. We have to find ways to get it done. Like I said, we keep people on this team for a reason. They have to click. They're different type of players. I'm not saying they're the same caliber, but they do some things well, and we got to make sure we do the things that they do well.
I don't know how many lives this cat has, but you lost yesterday. You're still technically in first place in the NFC South. That's got to be the goal, right? To win the South, to get into the playoffs. You're under 500 now. That's probably your only path to do so, unless you go on one hellacious run here. But can you just speak to the state of the NFC South right now, and of course the big game on Monday night against the Saints?
Well, we've all lost some games. You know, the object at the beginning of the year is to win the division. That's still intact for us, and it's still alive for us, so that's what we're trying to do. You know, if you get in and you get on the run, you don't know what's going to happen. So we got to take care of today. We got to take care of tomorrow. We understand that we got the Saints Monday night. It's a big game for them, big game for us, so we got to be ready.
How did you feel the energy was from your players in the Browns game after the bye week and having that time off?
I thought our energy was good. I thought our energy was real good. We knew they started fast. They scored 7 points on us fast on a reverse play. They settled down and played football, and too many miscues, way too many miscues.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Yep.